Hello, welcome to episode of Mindset Monday. Today is such a spectacular day, and for those who are viewing, I am having technical difficulties. I don't know if it's because of the eclipse. I know it's not the wind that is blowing it away, like last week. Last week, I was in Florida on the outskirts and the wind was blowing. So I know many of you did not hear a lot of what was said. But Suzette will be back. And the wind was blowing. So I know many of you did not hear a lot of what was said. Suzette will be back to, to share with us her expertise on assisting our younger generation to reach their potential with her wisdom in her teaching styles. 2024. And we are still continuing with our topic for this month, in due season. Now, I hope you had a wonderful Monday. I know for the most part in USA, we're having a spectacular day with all of our usual happenings and the solar eclipse. Now, when we talk about due season, things are happening in their season. Although sometimes we may think as if things are happening out of season. But if we are connected to God, who is our source, we will realize that He said, all things work together for good to them that love God. So if we are operating in our season, if we are working through what is happening in our life and using it to glorify God in whatever circumstance we find ourselves, the Word of God, our wisdom literature, our roadmap reminds us to give thanks. Not everything will be good, but everything can be used for our edification and also to give God glory, because something may be bad for us, but another person would look at it as just a drop in the bucket comparing to what they are going through. So I just want to share with you that walk in your season, operate in your season, and allow God to work in and through you so you can benefit humanity. My sister, who is also a widow since 2020, it so happened that she is now with me for a little while. Now, when I talk about seasons, I'm sharing with you some personal experiences. She has been taking care of her husband for over 5 years while he was ill. And he finally passed away in 2020. When I went to Jamaica in May of 2023, she started sharing with me her account and also how she managed on a day to day basis dealing with the loss of her dear husband, Winston. When she came here, she started to remind me. She said, Little, I did not know or realize that I was actually preparing you for your season. We're talking about in due season, because none of us actually knows what will happen in a particular season. For the seasons of the year in the US or in other parts, we can distinguish the different seasons. Spring is when the leaves start coming back on the buds on the different trees, and the flowers comes up in all its glory. Um, Summer is reaping, and it's very hot in this part of the globe. Um, Fall is when the leaves start changing colors, different foliages, and the leaves start getting off the trees and everything. And then winter is when, for the most part, everything becomes dormant. But in our lives, there are things that happen that we are not sure when it's going to happen. But if we go back to our source, God, the Lord reminds us that to everything there is a season. That means our life is seasonal. When we are young, we go through a period, then we reach puberty, then we reach middle age, and we grow up and then we start going down. So those are seasons of life. There are seasons of time to be born, a time to die. Now, when I was little, I can remember that there are many persons that every single Saturday morning, I religiously listened to the death announcements. And I used to hear the deaths of occurred of Miriam this, of Miriam that. Every single week, I think I hear a Miriam dying. So, because Miriam is normally a 90-year-old woman and other people dying, they were always old. So I attribute death to old age. But as I grew up, I realized that death is not only classified with the old, but it's classified based on the time and the seasons that that chapter closes. As the Bible said, there's a time to die, and there's a time to be born and a time to die. So age is no longer a factor. We can see even now that there are a lot of people that are dying young. Now, I'm not going back to the death part. Just wanted to make a point. But I just want to share with you how the seasons of our life is unpredictable based on our account, because we don't know what is in God's divine plan for life, because he said we should occupy till he comes. So we are working in our area of gifting, doing what our hands find to do, and then we can reap the fruits of our labor. I want to just let you know that because of technical difficulties, I was unable to edit the part one. It says part one, but it's actually part two. Technology is sometimes unfavorable when you really need it most. Anyway, seasons in due season, through the process of taking care of her husband, taking care of her children, and this is her time, this is her season to traverse the globe. Can I tell you, this is her first time in the US. And the next day after she came, you know what happened? I think she brought the earthquake. So there was a quake, and she was alone at home while I was at work. So the seasons of life comes with different turns, unpredictable turns. Who would have thought that she would have been here and experiencing an earthquake in the US? The next spectacular part of this season of her life, she is here to experience the eclipse of 2024. And I'm going to bring her on just to share her a little bit, and she's going to share with you a little bit of her season. So she is right here with me, and I'm going to call Veronica Elise Powell Granville, or Granville Powell, however you might want to be called. But she is the mother of four wonderful, handsome boys, and she is ecstatic because she has given herself to them, she has nurtured them, and she is actually reaping the fruits of her labor. She will tell us that none of them are obligated to actually give her anything. She gave of what she have, but she is grateful that they are the ones that's taking care of her 100%. And I will call my sister Veronica Elise Powell. Look at her. Do we resemble? This is one of my bigger younger sister. She's not the oldest one, but she's bigger than me. She's little, but she's bigger than me.
Hi, good evening, everybody. And it's good to be here. I'm giving God thanks. It's a wonderful experience, first and foremost. The plane ride and the experience. My son who booked the flight, which is the youngest of the four. And as he said, Mom, you have sat down, you have nurtured us, and now it's our time that you go and have some fun. So got the visa, booked the flight, and he said, I booked a window seat, so take in the view. And I did take in the view. I took some wonderful pictures, and I was looking at the awesomeness of God's creation. When I looked through the window and saw the clouds, it was like just little puffs of cotton just lying there, and it was so beautiful, and to see between the clouds, when the clouds parted, you could see the land formation down below. And I was just taking in all of that stuff while on the flight. And we didn't have a rough flight. The flight was very, very good, and then I came, settled in, and was here Friday morning, relaxing on a phone, talking to someone from Jamaica to let them know that I have arrived. And I was like, hear a little rumbling, like, and where my sister is, we can hear the trains passing. So I thought, oh, it was just a train. And then I said, no, I felt the house. And I was like, said to the person on the phone, oh my gosh, right now we are having a quake here. And I was like, the person was like, really? And I said, yes. And then the phones were like beeping, 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 beeping afterward. And I was like, what that sound? I realized my phone have the system for emergency alerts. So the alerts went off. And I saw it was a 4.7 or 4.8 earthquake. And I was like, God, you're just telling me that you are here with me too. And my sister called. I guess she was wondering, and she called. I said, yes, I felt it, but I'm fine. I was okay. So, and I'm good. I wasn't shocked. And they said tremors at about like in after 4 in the evening, we got what they would call it, aftershock. The little shaking, it wasn't as hard as the first one. I don't know if a lot of people felt it, but I felt it. So, and then today the eclipse. Well, we were on the road, but we didn't see it. But when we came in the like 3 going 4 o'clock, the place was a bit darker and chilly, but that's about it. But we got pictures. So I'm saying like, wow. I said to my sister, I said, I can't believe that my first trip to USA, earthquake the day after, and then eclipse. I said, well, I'm just enjoying every moment of it. I'm alive going through them. So God is good. And this is just part of God. Whatever He does is well done. And it doesn't make sense we are frightened, or it's just for us to know that there's a superpower, supernatural power there, and we just have to be ready for anything and everything, and not just physically but spiritually ready, that if as the season goes, we have life and we have death. So if death comes, then we know we'll be at peace. So we just have to get our mind set, well ready, well intact. So guess what? We are not surprised when God do his thing because he is God. No matter what we are going through or what education level we have or the letters behind the names or before the names, whether we are king, prince, president, prime ministers, or whatever, all power belongs to God. So we just have to give God thanks and try to live, love family, love everybody because God is love, and to live the best, to know that at the end of it, we can hear, well done. So, whatever you do, whether to your regular job, make sure you give 100%. So, you don't want 100% pay when you do 90% work. So, all that you do, give your 100 and do it as unto the Lord. And now I hand over back to my sister as she continue with Mindset Monday
Isn't
in
this
the
so
season.
wonderful? I have this honor to hug my sister, not from afar, but up front and close. I'm
Yes.
so blessed. I am actually so blessed. I'm honored to have her, and we're having a wonderful time. We're enjoying ourselves. We I have to I have some friends who call and said, "You need to go to bed," because we sit up and we chat for hours. We chat about the seasons that passed, our upbringing, because for the most part, myself and Veronica, we grew up, we were adopted. Of course, you heard my story that I thought my parents didn't like me, and she thought the same way initially. But when we mature, we realize that they were doing it for our best interest, because they were not able to financially take care of us for the most part, because it was a lot of us. And then they took care of our uncles and aunts, and one aunt decided that they want to help, and the other uncle decided they want to help, and so we were adopted. But we share a special bond, and I'm grateful that she is here to help me through the process of grieving the loss of my husband, because she went through it since 2020, and we have so much to give thanks for. We laugh for the most part, we not crying that much. And yesterday, some of you might have noticed, it was actually the trio, or the trio. Yes, it was my aunt, myself, and my sister. The three with us. We went out for dinner and we had a blast. None of us were crying then. We were eating and enjoying ourselves and having a good time. We were saying we appreciate, we're happy that we shared the experience with our husbands when they were here, but we are happy that we can eat, we can taste the food, we can taste every season in the food, and it was delectable. You can say that I love to eat. So, in due season, whatever season you're experiencing, find joy in it. It may not be the best season, you may be feeling pain, but think about your nerves working while that's the reason you're feeling the pain. There are people whose nerves are not working. They hurt themselves and they don't even know they're hurt because are out of sync. Think of the persons who have lost loved ones. Yes, I'm happy that I'm able to experience life with my husband. And now I can look at the memories that we share. Some are excitingly happy, some are not so happy. But in spite of all of that, that's a part of life experience. So I am happy that I have experienced life with my siblings growing up. I've experienced life without my siblings for some parts of my season. I've experienced life with a whole lot of people, and I've experienced life being by myself sometimes. But whatever area, whatever aspect of life we're experiencing, let's walk through our season, understanding that we are here for a purpose, a time, a specific time. And when that time elapses, then the different seasons end, and then another season starts. So for me, my season of life is still going on. And within my season of life, born and death, there are certain things that needs to be accomplished. And when God says, occupy till I come, He expects us to operate in the area of gifting that He has created us to walk into and operate in so that we can let our light shine, that men may see our good work and be led to glorify our Father which is in heaven. So walk through your season, express yourself, experience your season. Let your expand. You see, our mind is a powerful thing. We have the ability to capture things. We have the ability to stand and to do things because God has created us with all of the capabilities. Wrapped up in this little mind is the entire capability to build skyscrapers, to allow airplane to fly. He has given us wisdom to do all of that and more. He has given us wisdom for those who created those glasses that we're able to see the eclipse. That's magnificent. So everything that were we have, everything that we can do, we were already created with the capabilities, but the learning that we get help to expand those capabilities, and we're able to do them and operate in them, and others see our potential, others feel the things that we do, and others are able to benefit from the fruits of our labor. So if you are in school now, go through your season, study to show yourself approved. Walk through your season, do everything possible to make sure that you are achieving your goal. There is a favorite quote that do things as if it depends on you and pray as if it depends on God. So do your part. Operate in the area of gifting. Be diligent in what you're doing. As my sister rightly said, do your best. Be the best street cleaner. Be the best accountant. Be the best in anything you do. Uh, it was David said, I rather to be a doorkeeper in the house of God than to dwell in tents of wickedness. You have people who use their potential to destroy others, to be cruel. They allow their ego to supersede the best of their intentions. They allow ego instead of love to drive their their emotions, to be the driving force. But let's use what God has given to us to honor Him, to help humanity, because we're all here to complement each other instead of causing conflict. We're here to complement, not cause conflict. And once we understand that and we're operating according to love, which God is love, and when we operate from that premise, we will realize that as we walk in our season, we can be of benefit to humanity. We can be of benefit to ourselves because we will no longer be ourselves, but we will be operating, we will be shining, we will be sharing what we have so others can see God's glory through our existence. In due season, you will reap if you faint not. So, whether it's huge or whether it's minute, walk in your season. Pay attention to your season. Last week, I asked, what season are you in? From last week to this week, the season may have changed in your particular life, in your family's life. The dynamics may have changed since we last spoke. I know last week the program was very choppy because of the season that was going on then. The airwaves were just going awire. But whatever season you're in, if it's a little window or a big window, find out what season, what is operating now, how can I benefit, how can others benefit from my season, how can I be benefit. The seasons of life are for our learning. The seasons of life are for our benefit. The seasons of life allow us to see and understand that we are here to fulfill a God given purpose. Do you know that purpose? Do you know the season you're operating in? Are you trying to stretch the season when the season has closed? Because of our inability sometimes to move away from our comfort zone, to move away from the familiar territory, to move away from the things that are the norms, we are not able to rise to our true potential. We're not able to raise the bar higher than what we are accustomed to. So seasons come to shift. Look at the earthquake. I was sitting quietly at my desk and I felt like I was being cradled. I felt like I was in a hammock. It felt a little good, but I was a little scared. Now, everyone was quiet. Now, this little few seconds of earthquake changes everything because who weren't speaking to another coworker beside them said, "Did you feel it?" It allowed something it allows something to about that feeling of camaraderie, realizing that, oh, I'm not the only one here and someone else is here to share in this season that we are going through. So walk in your season, whatever it is. Pay attention to your season. What is it I need to learn from the season that I am going through? Because I will be able to share with someone else, like my sister Veronica just shared. When she went through her season of grief, she's still going through grief, but it is not as fresh as mine, or it's not as fresh as my aunt's. But while she was going through, she is able to help someone bear the burdens that she carried. So walk good in your season. Allow those seasons to bring out the best in you. Seasons come not to hurt or to destroy you, but to bring out the better, best version of you. So walk in your season. Enjoy, for the most part, a lot of times, the seasons we go through in our finite mind as human, they're not enjoyable. However, let's walk through our seasons. Let's take step by step, and we will understand. As the song says, we will understand it better by and by. Just remember that seasons come and seasons go. The Bible, in many accounts, you will hear in the Old Testament, and it came to pass. So seasons will pass. If you're in a season of lack, that will pass. If you're in a season of plenty, you may end up in a season of lack. But just remember, because you are on the mountaintop today and you may go in the valley, it's just a season. It's life and it's traversing the journeys. You will go through all of these changes, knowing that whatever change you are experiencing now, it's only a season. And it will come to pass. I'm going to jump over to YouTube and see if there are any comments. Let's see. Okay, Anne Marie Wallace says, preach it, same so. Rosemary Campbell, she said, your attitude determines your altitude. Be positive, and positivity will follow. Well said. Anne Marie said, the Florida season lasts a week. And that's so true. I was in a season just for a weekend. So seasons are short lived sometimes, seasons have an extended period. True, Anne Marie. Uh, Rose Campbell, Marie Steer, she said, welcome, Veronica.
Thank you.
Now, when you are going through your seasons, if you're not careful, you will miss the blessings, you will miss the opportunities, you will miss all of what are you were supposed to learn from what you were going through. So pay attention to the little details. Pay attention, as my sister alluded, experience the the ups and the downs. Pay attention to slides. Pay attention, and you will reap the benefits of understanding the seasons and learning through all of it and the turns as you go through your season. So today, as we experience the eclipse, and the next one, according to the news, the next one will be August 22, 2044. I don't know if I'll be alive then. However, I have experienced this one. So I am living in the present, experiencing what is happening and just enjoying what I can enjoy today. So, can I tell you? Just stay present. Stay present. Learn all you can in the season you're in, and you will realize, life is not so bad after all. So as I enjoy my sister's presence, I'm sorry, I have to gloat. I'm just enjoying her. So enjoy your season. I'm enjoying a happy season now, an exciting season where I can sit and chat with her and we rub shoulders, we hug each other before we go to bed at night. I feel so good. I'm sorry, it's just my little crazy moments. So enjoy your season. Have a wonderful Monday as you reminisce on your season, as you reminisce on the experiences that you've encountered, and you will be packing them so you'll be able to share with others when they come in your sphere of influence. Until next week, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will see when there is another video. I have a special announcement to make next week or sometime during this week. Just listen out, a short video. I will let you know of a very exciting news that I have. Listen out for it as I share with you that excitement. I know you'll wait in anticipation, but until next week or until later this week when I share that news, have a wonderful week as you pay attention to the different things that comes in your season. Be mindful of the experiences that you go through so you'll be able to share with others when you are called upon. Have a wonderful week. This is Miriam Edwards for another episode of Mindset Monday.